The Pentagon's UFO investigation has been like a sci-fi drama series. There are feelings, accusations, claims of cover-ups, testimony from witnesses who have been silent for a long time, and a lot more. I'm pretty sure that a top streaming OTT platform is currently working on a documentary about the same thing. The Pentagon's UFO investigations are beginning to sound more like the X-Files than anyone could have imagined. The unusual interest in unidentified aerial phenomena can be demonstrated by the testimony of several former officials who were involved in the investigations. Even though there have been no new claims about the military's dubious interest in so-called alien phenomena, some of the old ones are too crazy to ignore. The Tic Tac UFO incident is one example that shows how absurd some of these claims are. When naval fighter jet pilots took off from the USS Nimitz nuclear aircraft carrier in 2004, they not only saw but also recorded a strange object that has come to be referred to as the Tic Tac because of its oblong shape. The baffling encounter with a UFO was revealed by the New York Times years later, and numerous eyewitnesses have since come forward to describe what they saw. A strange, oblong, unidentified object is shown in one of 3 infrared videos that were taken in 2004 and shared by the Times in 2017. This gave the object its nickname, Tic Tac. The following statement was made by one of the pilots. The erratic nature of it was the aspect that stood out to me the most. It was simply acting out of the ordinary in a physical sense. That's what caught my attention because the Tic Tac burn bears no resemblance to any conventional aircraft. And aircraft, whether they are man-made or not, must abide by the laws of physics. It appears that a sailor was hired by a secret Pentagon program to look into the Nimitz incident. This is where things get even stranger. After the mariner returned home to Virginia, his family said they saw a wolf-like animal that strolled on 2 rear legs, glimpsing inside their home on 2 separate events. Even though the most likely explanation is that the Poe family, the investigators, made up the whole thing and almost took some local wildlife for an extraterrestrial visitor, it still makes one wonder why the Pentagon was conducting such investigations in secret. How many additional studies of this kind has it funded? Is there truly something being kept a secret from us? Another claim asserts that the United States government may be working right now to decipher alien technology recovered from UFOs. Tennessee congressman spoke in an interview that raised eyebrows. Tim Burchard stated that he believes the United States government has at some point recovered a craft and possibly beings, referring to the numerous high-altitude balloons that were grounded last month. Even though it's possible that the idea that the U.S. government recovered alien technology and then covered it up isn't exactly new, the theory, when combined with other allegations, makes one wonder if belief in UFOs and extraterrestrial technologies is becoming more widespread than we've ever realized. On the condition of anonymity, government officials have stated in interviews that, despite the efforts of others within and outside the defense departments to shed light on this topic of increasing interest, certain individuals within the Pentagon are preventing the public from receiving very intriguing information. What kind of skulls and bones style secret society is this? What are they aware of that they so fervently desire to conceal? Numerous additional such incidents and mentions have occurred. One such incident occurred in April 2014, when 4 naval aviators entered tightly controlled airspace for a training exercise and narrowly escaped disaster. To the dismay of dozens of their fellow pilots, their 2 FA fighter jets nearly struck an unknown flying object. Such a close call to disaster was inevitable. UCA was undoubtedly affected by this incident, as were the pilots, who finally voiced their concerns after nearly a decade of near collisions. Despite the high risk posed by the hazard and the frequency of encounters, there was no Pentagon report on UAPs at the time. The Navy took 5 years to implement a formal structure for reporting UFOs. The first set of these reports, which only cover a few months in 2019, are heavily redacted and make it clear that the U.S. government faces a significant challenge. Air crews flying in exclusive use training areas off the U.S. East Coast for months before and after the incident frequently observed unknown objects with highly anomalous flight characteristics. Aviators lacked a formal way to report the enigmatic objects to higher authorities, despite the risk of collision they posed. In another such occurrence, a pilot revealed that he had never seen anything like this. An alien object with unique flight characteristics was observed by an aviator during a different encounter. In my redacted years of service, I had observed something that suggested a particularly bizarre encounter. One of the 4 pilots who narrowly escaped the collision in April 2014, Ryan Graves, testifies below. These were more than just balloons. Mach 1, or the speed of sound, was reached as the unidentified aerial phenomena accelerated. Despite the 120-knot winds, they could maintain their position and appear motionless. They lacked any discernible means of propulsion, control surfaces, or lift. To put it another way, they did not have wings, flaps, or engines like typical aircraft. Additionally, they operated continuously throughout the day, outlasting our fighter jets. Although I have formal engineering training, the technology they demonstrated was beyond my comprehension. On the off chance that an exceptionally prepared, experienced pilot could be this stirred up about the occurrences, it must be an out thing of the world. Some say it's obvious that we're not the only ones. Some people dismiss the concept as absurd, while others will hauntingly recount their own experiences with alien probes following casual nighttime or early morning dog walks. Skepticism, on the other hand, is more difficult to maintain than non-skepticism due to everything from increasingly bizarre reports from increasingly credible sources to fundamental mathematical probability indicating the likelihood of alien life these days. Even though there have been more officially recorded UFO sightings, they have been thoroughly disproven. However, there have been a few cases in history that have been more difficult to explain away, such as the 1853 sighting by a number of students and professors at the Tennessee College campus and the oft-quoted Stephenville Lights case from 2008, which saw the UFO and had over 200 witnesses, including 3 policemen who remained anonymous. Take into account these compelling cases that have been resolved, and their numbers continue to rise. Since officials began leaking documents to the media in 2020, there has been a growing body of evidence regarding the military's interest in UFOs. The establishment of a more visible UFO investigation office was included in defense spending that Congress approved in December 2021. Despite this, the military hasn't declassified much information, so the reporting has been inconsistent and gradual. There is some hope that the public will finally get more clarity on what the government actually knows about UFOs and what kind of weird stuff is being studied with the new Pentagon office, which UFO enthusiasts either absolutely adore or absolutely despise. But what am I aware of? Please let us know what you think in the section below. Please subscribe to receive future content and share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it.